Hi, we're at Kanapaha Botanical Gardens today to talk about water gardening. Water gardens are a wonderful way to increase the wildlife and the serenity in your own backyard. Kanapaha is a wonderful place to talk about water gardens because they have gorgeous lakes, ponds, and streams here that add so much to the natural environment. Many home gardeners are bringing that natural environment of water gardens to their own landscape. And there's so many benefits that come from adding water gardens to your backyard. Habitat creation in the form of attracting birds, butterflies, hummingbirds, turtles, and many other different animals that visit the pond. The sounds of the water garden in your backyard, if you choose to put in a stream, you can hear the babbling brook, it can mask the neighborhood sounds, and it really creates a sense of balance in the backyard. People will go to their pond as a retreat or a place for serenity. So we're going to talk today a little bit about how to create a water garden in your own backyard. Fortunately for gardeners, there's a lot of material to choose from when you're installing a home pond. The best thing that you can do though, before you get started, is to pick the site appropriately. You want to make sure that it's not in a secluded place in your landscape or a shady spot in your landscape. And another good idea is to put it on the top of a slope, not in the lowest part of your yard as you might think, because if you put it in the low part of your landscape, there will be runoff and mud flowing into the pond. So there are some choices that you make about the pond. You want to think about whether you want a flexible liner or a preform liner. And today we have a preform liner with us. This is a small one, and they can be quite large and elaborate with streams and different attachments that make it really interesting. But today we're just going to look at this small one. I like this preform liner because it has plant shelves in it. And plant shelves gives you a spot to rest your water lilies or your pickerel weed or your cannas that you're going to put into the pond. Before you put your pond in, you're going to have to dig a good hole out. Before you dig though, you have to call and make sure that you're not cutting any cable lines or electrical lines or water lines. That's going to ensure that your pond project goes smoothly. Once you get that hole dug, dig it a little bit larger than your preformed liner and backfill with soil as you begin to put your water in. Now at the garden center stores, there are lots of choices about pumps and filters. Select a pump that is a little bit larger than what is required. So this one requires about 150 gallons per hour. I went ahead and bought the pump that's 200 gallons per hour to keep this flowing. You want to have good water flow in your pond so you hear the sounds, but it also keeps it very healthy and vibrant, keeps your insects down, keeps your algae down if you have good circulation in your pond. Many people choose to put fish in their ponds, and that's a wonderful way to enjoy the pond in the backyard. If you do that though, you really need to think about giving the pond time to stabilize before you introduce the fish. And you also want to think about putting in a filtration system. That's going to help strike a balance between the plant life, the fish, and your water. It'll keep your water really clean and keep your fish happy. Many people choose to add accessories to their pond once it's installed and running well. Fountains, statues, plants, any kind of thing that enhances the pond is usually welcomed. Lighting is important with ponds too, especially for those of us who work all the time. When we get home at night, it's great to light up that pond and enjoy what we have created out there. Hopefully you're excited about creating your own backyard water garden. Just remember a few of the steps that we went over today. Pick the appropriate site, nice and level, and it's not going to be the lowest part of your yard. Making sure that you pick the correct liner for your lifestyle. Using the correct pump and filtration system, especially if you're going to use plants and fish in your pond. Remembering these steps will get your water garden thriving in your backyard, create a habitat for wildlife, and a spot for serenity and peace in your own landscape.